Grand Rising. How was that debate yesterday? How'd that debate go yesterday? See, the Most High has given you these great leaders to lead you through the most perilous times of the world's history. This is the best that you guys have to offer. An 81-year-old man who seems to not have all of his faculties, and a 77-year-old felon. And it's funny how all these people are like, well, Trump's up in the polls. Well, what's he competing against? I mean, that I didn't even watch the debate. I'm just hearing about the clips and how much of a disaster it was. But you know what's funny is this. You guys are all talking about how Joe looks like a certain way, like he's out of it, whatever else. That's exactly what you Constantine Christians look like. His performance last night is exactly the same performance you guys are performing right now, trying to defend your history. They've been putting up all these pictures of how Biden looks, and he kind of looks out of it. That's exactly how you guys look when we start asking you to break down your history. You start to get that glazed look, like you're just not there anymore, or you're not hearing the question, or the questions are not processing very well. All you Constantine Christians keeps running to Galatians 3:28, neither Jew nor Greek. And we're like, okay, well, how's that in practice exactly? Because it seems as if just about every single person in power for the last few hundred years has been somehow tied to Greeks. Somehow tied to, that whole race of people. The Greeks, the so-called white Europeans, right? They're the ones that have been making the vast majority, if not almost all, of the decisions. So why do you guys keep, is that what was meant in Galatians 3:28, that you get to make all the decisions? That only you get to break down the Bible? That only your breakdowns of history or things you want to talk about are valid? Is that what Paul meant every time you guys ran to Galatians 3:28? How does that actually work in practice? I would like to know. When have you ever asked anyone else their opinion? And see, like, you guys are at the end. You're trying to tell me that these are the two best candidates that your country has to offer at this point? I said, you guys are in such a horrible position. You've lost the petrodollar. You've lost the moral compass that you thought you had, which you never had in the first place. Your society is crumbling. Your young people are disillusioned. Your church folk won't even, talk about their history. Most people now don't want to, if you want them to talk about their history, they get all offended because you're bringing up, CRT, critical race theory, anybody else's opinion. So how is it neither Jew nor Greek when anyone has a different opinion? You pretty much, demonize them. If someone has a different view of history, it's CRT, it's some false thing, it's some critical race theory. But what you guys teach is supposedly facts. See, you just run out and throw out a verse and think that somehow that alleviates everything. It's neither Jew nor Greek. So how does that work out exactly in the real world? How have you been taking anyone else's opinions about things or taking their point of view into consideration? You haven't. So please stop with that whole, neither Jew nor Greek BS. Okay? Because until you start talking about your history, you can't go back to that verse and then give justification for all the things that you've been doing. Like I said, did Paul mean for you to go ahead and use Galatians 3:28 and go around and rape, rob, murder, and steal? See, I did a video yesterday, a quick video on a comment when I just on that video about the rapture, and I just put, you wish, and the guy took offense. The first thing I said, because I wasn't on there like all the other people. Yeah, brother, that's right. I can't wait to get raptured away. Yeah, we're gonna go home soon. Whose home is this? Who? All of a sudden now you guys are not of this world. This world is your home. This is the mess that you made, and you're not going to be getting out of it, right? So just because I had a different opinion, all of a sudden I'm a racist, I'm this, I'm that, I'm saying that God's a racist and this, and that. And all of a sudden, Brother Sly and Brother William jumped on there and just made a couple of comments, and old boy just deleted everything. I made a comment, and I made a video, to his comment, and, I haven't seen him respond back to it or anything like that. And when we started, kind of breaking down history and everything else, old boy took down his comment and all of our comments as well. And that's the thing, you guys cannot handle any scrutiny. You know, I said, we get scrutinized all the time. You know, for years, trust me, I'm built for this. I said, for years, I've brought up other books, other information, gotten attacked and whatever else, and I'm still here. I never, deleted comments and tried to hide and whatever else. I said, because I have no problem with what the Most High is showing me. I have no problem, defending what the Most High has given me, right? So I don't need to delete comments and try to, ban people, block people. I don't do that because, if what we're saying is so bad and so wrong, you would just leave that up there as an example to all of your listeners or all your followers that look how crazy these people sound. Look how crazy they sound. And that's what I do. I leave you. If you want to say something negative, go right ahead. I said, but see, this difference is that we study and we can pretty much destroy anything, any doctrine, any idea that you're going to bring up. But see, that's not the case for you Constantine Christians. That's why they have to try to hide comments or delete comments. I mean, he couldn't stand more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes of some comments before he took down his, he tried to come at me. All I said was, you wish, and he tried to come at me. And then we started responding back and forth, and he just took it all down. See, you guys can't handle scrutiny, just like your president right now. When he can go out and read a teleprompter, but once you start actually asking him questions and he's having to actually explain things, all of a sudden he glitches out, which is exactly what you Constantine Christians are doing. You are glitching out just like him. I said, you got that same glazed look every time we ask you to talk about your history. Anytime you bring up a verse, we're like, you always tell us it's out of context, but you're the only ones that have been bringing everything out of context. Every breakdown you guys have is out of context because the Bible was written by Israelites for Israelites. It's our, past, present, and future. So the only person who's taken the scriptures out of context is you, because you've taken our book, which is a family book. Go ahead and show me anywhere where else, Gentiles are able to go in and speak, and the Most High is talking to them, and the Most High is, giving them authority over the scriptures. See, you go to Psalms 147, 19 and 20, it tells you that he's only given his word to Jacob. So the only people that are taking the Bible out of context are Gentiles who are taking our book and are trying to apply it to them. They are the main people who take everything out of context. And if it's not true, prove it. Go ahead and prove it. Show me that exactly, because you're going to go to Galatians 3 and 20, and I'm going to say, well, how's that in practice? Because I don't see a whole lot of so-called Negroes are running the country. I haven't seen us been given that opportunity, right? And the only ones you want to put in positions of authority are ones that you control. The ones you want to put up there as a figurehead, but you're behind there making all the decisions. So that you can tell, like, oh, look, we got black people that are doing this and doing that. But ultimately, you guys still make all the decisions, which is fine because this is your heaven. But let's not lie to the people and tell them that I'm not of this world, because this is your world. This is the world that you created, okay? And you're responsible for the consequences thereof, right? So you're glitching out just like your president. You guys do exactly the same thing because you don't talk about your history. I've been bringing out all this historical information from primary sources, and you guys say nothing. We talk about the church, you say nothing. You just run to Galatians 3 and 28, John 3:16. We already know what you guys are going to run to, because you only run to certain verses, and that's all you guys do, because you're just like Joe. You're reading from a teleprompter. You went to theology school. They told you, again, how to read the Bible out of context because the Bible was written for one particular group of people, right? That's it. So who's really taking things out of context? That would be you, who are taking everything from the scriptures out of context. The real people who are fulfilling scripture, you won't even acknowledge. The scriptures were talking about us waking up in the lands of our captivity. Baruch 2 and 30. You go to older Bibles, and it's right there. Talk about how we're going to wake up in the lands of our captivities, and it makes, references all to do with the Bible, us losing our heritage, and then us being in the land, and we were said that we were not a people, and there it's going to be said that we are the sons and daughters of the living power. So, that theme is all throughout the Bible, but you guys don't talk about that whatsoever. Why is that? Because you take the Bible out of context. You try to make it apply to everyone when it applies to us. Everything revolves around us. And if you want to be part of what's going on, you need to cleave to God's chosen people. But again, that's okay, man. Like I said, just go to Galatians 3 and 28, and that just alleviates everything else in the Bible. So again, who's taking the Bible out of context? That would be you, sir. Shalom.